Let's play a lightning round game.
Socialist Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Socialist Congresswoman
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Now, this is a game I'd watch every week.
I'm gonna be the bad guy, and I want to get away with as much bad things as possible, ideally to enrich myself and advance my interest.
And a game conservatives are probably replaying in their heads as we speak, over and over again, because AOC lives rent-free in their heads while they constantly tweet about her and make graphics highlighting her strongest policy positions. Anyway, last week's Now This video featuring Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez has been seen more than 40 million times across many pages, demonstrating the impact she has, especially when discussing topics that more often than not are overlooked because of their density. Because let's be honest, not everyone brunches over conversations involving campaign finance laws, unless you're me. But I'm boring. But nonetheless, it's so crucially important in understanding how fundamentally broken the system is and how freely bad guys can get away with being bad at the expense of everyday good people.
If I want to run a campaign that is entirely funded by corporate political action committees, is there anything that legally prevents me from doing that?
No.
Okay, so let's say I'm a really, really bad guy. Let's say I have some skeletons in my closet that I need to cover up. Mr. Smith, is it true that you wrote this article, this opinion piece for the Washington Post entitled, "These payments to women were unseemly, that doesn't mean they were illegal"?
Well, I can't see the piece, but I wrote a piece under that headline in the Post, so I assume that's right.
Okay, great. So, green light for hush money.
In her lightning round of questions, AOC identifies a way to break down campaign finance laws and all the surprising things they allow in a way that, while sickening, is also very digestible. She shows how a politician can legally take money from, as she references in her example, the oil and gas industry, and then once elected, write laws that help the industry and even themselves invest in said oil and gas stocks. In her words, she says it's pretty easy for her to be a pretty bad guy. And while she chose oil and gas, she could have chosen from anything ranging from pharmaceuticals to weapon manufacturers.
I can do all sorts of terrible things. It's totally legal right now for me to pay people off. And that is considered speech. That money is considered speech.
Because if you peel back a layer or two, it's not long before you find politicians with their fingers in more pies than Jim Levenstein. So here are a couple of examples just to reiterate the brilliance of her point. Let's go back a few months. We all remember that super tax cut that never was, right? Well, thanks to the flaccid laws AOC highlighted, it's no surprise that just days after the GOP tax plan was passed, GOP mega donor Charles Koch and his wife dropped the wee amount of $500,000 into Paul Ryan's joint fundraising committee. Oh, would you look at that? It's a little pocket money for your trouble there, Paul. Thanks again. Or how about the recent breaking news that the Justice Department had an unusual switch in their opinion of online gambling? Who would have thunk it, right? Crazy. And the list goes on and on and on. And while conservatives instinctively react to the AOC voice that never leaves their head, they are actually oblivious to the fact that most Americans agree wholeheartedly with what she's saying in this example. In fact, new research states that nearly 2/3 of Americans support new laws reducing the role of money in politics. Look at that. If only they'd stop their obsessive, borderline creepy infatuation with ridiculing her every breath, they'd see that she's right. And she's right about fixing an issue that would actually benefit all Americans, regardless of political affiliation. While money continues to line the pockets of already deep-pocketed politicians, there will always be room for lobbying, back-end deals, and ultimately the ability to govern based on increasing personal equity than for the benefit of those who voted those politicians in the first place. After merely a month in office, AOC has already got conservatives in such a headspin you'd think she wore a tan suit. From her Twitch streams to her clapbacks, she exemplifies what it means to utilize the power of social media to the point where topics such as campaign finance laws become viral and therefore unavoidable. For more on this, come over to my Instagram. I'd love to hear what you think at Francis M. Maxwell. You can send me your questions there. Also, become a supporter of independent media, tyt.com/join. Never missed another breakdown video by ringing the bell below. You'll get notified whenever we publish something new. And don't forget to join TYT today. Download our TYT Plus app on your phone or head over to tyt.com/join.